Well, someone put a fucking bell on Pete. Let's go.
Right here. Right? If you guys want to start, please start. I'm just getting a piece of paper and a pencil.
I'm trying to figure out what part of his body's in frame there.
All of it. If we had a percentage, what would that percentage be? Would that be like a tenth?
Yeah, 20th.
All right. I can't see me, so.
Did you do that again?
Yeah, I don't like. I would just be staring at myself, given the 4 options.
You just see him just drooling.
Honestly, I find that I just stare at whoever's talking.
Yeah.
Well, so do I.
I'm looking at myself. If it's someone else, I'm looking at them.
You look at yourself when you're talking?
I don't know why. It's just that's.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Because that's how you be polite in real life. So I guess I'm just accustomed to it.
And I started looking at it as like I wouldn't see myself talking anyway, so I would just be looking at you guys.
Yeah, I get lost in my own eyes.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
You're only human too, man.
Yep.
Welcome, the All Pop No Culture Podcast / Zoom meeting nowadays. I am your host, Opie, and I am joined as always by Kevin.
Howdy.
Pete.
Hey.
And Alex.
Hi.
Hi. We are getting used to this new format of podcasting in terms of not being in the same room. This is our second attempt at it, and I don't know. I think it's something we can, over time, get. It'll probably be just about the time we could start, getting together again.
Yeah, we'll get used to it right when everything's fine again.
Yeah.
So, but if you are new to the show, we are a pop culture centered podcast talking primarily about movies and television as it pertains to pop culture. What the hell was that? What was that clicking? Who was that? Yeah.
I dropped it on the computer.
Or like a minute
so
in.
So well, then Pete just had to. Are you chewing gum in the microphone now? Anyway.
Let me open my next bag of fruit snacks really quickly.
This week we were gonna all talk about a movie on Netflix called Extraction, starring Chris Hemsworth. But one of us didn't see it. And
I feel like we're probably still going to talk about it.
We're going to
talk about it anyways.
Yeah. But instead of just diving right into that, we're going to go over some of our streaming picks. So in shows past, we would basically go through the primary streaming services, Hulu, Netflix, HBO, blah, 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 blah. And pull out anything that might be worth your time or something to definitely avoid. I feel like only because we've been gone for so long that we haven't done this in forever, and I don't have a memory back to the previous show, so I don't remember last time we did the picks, but I know we talked about changing that up. So, so we didn't have anything assigned, but given the stay-at-home orders, everyone's watching, whatever. So, has anyone been watching anything worth of note? I know I have a couple from Apple TV Plus, but does anybody else have anything else that they want to chime in about?
Yeah, I got
City Slickers.
City Slickers?
City Slickers. It actually kind of still holds up.
I believe it.
Kind of still holds
up. It's obviously a movie squarely set in the 90s.
It's obviously a movie.
Right.
Nailed that.
Well, I don't know. Okay, Alex, that's debatable. I mean, if you look at it, yeah.
But other than like the cell phones, the movie still holds up fine.
Yeah, I think I actually bought that. But it was always a good movie, so I assumed it would hold up.
But it helps that the whole thing takes place on a dude ranch, or most of it, anyways. Yeah. So that kind of takes most technology out of it.
City Slickers 2, The Secret of Curly's Gold, does not hold up as well.
No,
it didn't hold up when it came out.
It wasn't good when it came out.
Yeah. I mean, John Lovitz. Just know it's not gonna do well.
I love John Lovitz though.
So that's what you spent your week doing? You watched
more or
City
less.
Slickers
Yeah,
and
that's
City
kind
Slickers
of what we watch.
You watched it 40
I'm watching
times.
some random stuff now.
On repeat.
Girls watch it. I found a channel that's showing the old 80s GI Joe cartoon, and they were showing all the multi-series like back to back to back.
I think I saw on YouTube like there's an episode of GI Joe available to watch, like popped up and stuff from like I watched nostalgic Saturday morning commercials. Me and the wife were going through that, and we stumbled on that, and we're just like, "Yep, I remember that. I remember that. I remember that." So I think from that GI Joe's popping up. I didn't watch it, but like, I didn't really watch. I don't remember watching GI Joe that much growing up. I may have. I know I had a lot of the toys, but I don't recall being like a huge fan of the cartoon because it was all the same shit.
Oh yeah, it's bad. Like it was one of those things. Even like the original G1 Transformers cartoon, like it's nostalgic when I watch it. There's like pangs of my youth. But watching it now, I'm like, Jesus, we had like shit cartoons.
They can't hit anything. This is our elite army. Just fucking hitting vehicles that aren't blowing up.
Yeah, no. Even my daughters were like, they all have parachutes all the time. I was like, yeah, it's an '80s toy commercial. Yeah. No one's actually allowed to die.
Yeah,
Like, now you have to throw away your toys.
Yeah,
he's dead.
Yeah,
it's canon.
Yeah, this one
Roblox guy
burnt.
Yeah.
All right. So, anything else from
Not really anything
pre our audience's
note.
age.
Pre the Cretaceous period.
Not anything of real note. That I would say it's worth it to go and look
at. He's a real American hero.
So nothing of note, unlike City Slickers and G.I.
Joe.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
All right, Kevin, please have something.
First, finishing off our conversation from last week, I finally I just went to iTunes and bought the last season of Schitt's Creek. So I finished that show completely.
Oh, you couldn't wait?
No, I could not wait. I didn't want to wait till I think it's September. And having streamed the first 5 seasons twice, I was like, "Fuck it, I need to finish it." So
is it over?
Yeah, it's over. Yeah. So it's a series finale.
Okay.
I probably could have waited if it wasn't. If I knew there was going to be like 2 or 3 more seasons, I probably could have waited. But
I feel like also they rush things a little bit more when they know it's coming back because they want to get like the previous season up before whatever new season starts. So a lot of times they'll show up a lot faster.
Right. Yeah, and I had a friend that I got to start watching it, and she finally got into it halfway through season 1. Like it starts a little slow. It's got that Parks and Rec kind of start where it's trying to find its footing and stuff. But it got really good, and it ends really well. Like they do a good job bringing it to a close. And
we're in season 3, I think.
Yeah, if you get the last season on iTunes, there's also a special at the end that's kind of like production making of the last season kind of special. It's like a 1-hour special. It's really interesting and really good. So if you're feeling like throwing money at something, it's worth it at the end.
Well, if we're talking about things from last week that we already mentioned, Alex, I watched that documentary about
Never Surrender.
Yeah, Never Surrender.
That
was good.
It was good.
Yeah,
I still need to go
it
watch
made me
that.
want to watch the movie again for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, I've always loved that movie. That movie's always awesome.
Yeah,
it's nice
it's a fantastic movie.
All I went into it, and crazy story about who they wanted for the lead. Although the one that Harold Ramis wanted, I'm like, I can see him doing a good job with that role too. Totally think he could have.
Who was it?
The one that did Kevin Kline.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, I can see it. And then I also when they were floating around Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I was like, I could see him do that.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely.
But,
yeah. I mean, they didn't have any bad choices, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. So, but anyway, that's Never Surrender is
still a good.
Cool. I like, good one. So, all right, anything new for this week, Kevin?
Well, once again, I've watched something that I started watching before and then finished. So, on Netflix, like way back in the early episodes, I started watching a show called The Politician.
Oh yeah,
with Ben Platt, and I think I only watched like the first episode or the first 40 minutes of the first episode. And so this week I've been watching that and getting caught up, and it's pretty interesting. It's like this mix between like a modern day soap opera and like a typical like Netflix dramedy. So like it mixes these two things kind of together really well. Because it's crazy. Like it's just in its own way, it's really ridiculous. Like everything that happens is pretty nuts. Like the main character, his whole goal is to grow up and be the president of the United States. And so he's in some rich kid's high school, and like he's got
talking about this. Yeah.
And he's got a group of people around him that are like his advisors.
Yeah.
And like it's all about them counting poll numbers, him winning this election in high school so that he can go on and get into Harvard and then start working through that to become president of the United States.
Season 2 coming out?
Season 2 comes out that soon. I don't know how soon.
Yeah, because I think I
soon.
just saw like a Netflix like release thing.
Yep.
And I think season 2 is coming out next.
And they're bringing in Bette Midler for season 2.
No.
And I love Bette Midler. So
she should have been the genie in Aladdin.
Yeah, perfect.
Instead of Will Smith. Would have been better than Will Smith.
I would have paid for that.
Well, you paid to see the Will Smith one, didn't you?
No, I did not. No, I did not. I watched it on an airplane where I was trapped. I was trapped in a tube over the Atlantic Ocean. So if I was going to die,
staring out the window, I can show you the window.
I imagined I was on the carpet.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's the best place to watch it.
World.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
He's with the hands in the with the choreography. You go, Fresh Prince.
Yeah, that was the same trip that I watched Stuber and Men in Black.
What a fucking bunch of winners! I remember you talking about that.
Did you watch Mortal Engines on that one too?
No way. I watched Mortal Engines on Well, I can't even remember Mortal Engines, but I watched it on HBO at home. Okay. But I've blanked most of that movie out. It was pretty bad.
Looks so cool.
Yeah. And then other than that, I'm still cranking away at Assassin's Creed, so I'm still dragging ass on television this week.
Yeah, it's a long game, man.
Yeah, that game was a time suck and a half.
I haven't played Red Dead at all this week. I've been meaning to.
What about all the fishing, OP? Come on.
I know. The lakes are now overstocked.
They're all gonna go bad.
Yeah.
Well, on Apple TV Plus this week, I watched the movie The Banker with Samuel L. Jackson and Mackie.
Oh yeah.
So based off of true events of two black businessmen in in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Where they essentially started, they started buying business real estate buildings that banks were in. So the banks were their tenants, and then moved on to buying banks themselves, and just this whole story of how they, got to the top and then were taken down because of, because they're black, and it was the 1960s. Right. So, and it's also in Texas. So,
a lot going there.
Yeah, it was a good movie though. It's well done, and it was the first one that I can remember that for Apple TV that I forgot that it was an Apple TV Plus original production.
Like while you were watching it?
Yeah, like it's not like something that, because I do remember like the morning show, and wasn't there another movie they had?
Well, there was C. I know you watched C.
C, yeah, but I mean, their shows for the most part, you kind of like, it just there's a little something different, so you just attribute it that it must be because it's Apple TV Plus.
Yeah,
the movie didn't feel like that at all.
That's cool.
At least I didn't notice.
In a good way?
Yeah. In terms of the movie was good, it was entertaining, but in terms of it's like just like there's some different element about the production of it. Was that something else going on back there?
Like I said, it's either a single firework or a gunshot. So
it's not me.
Yeah,
it's Disneyland. Mickey's just shooting the place up now. He's fucking sick of it.
Yeah. Hang on, guys. I got to go wipe.
Yeah, Donald's stir crazy.
Yeah.
All the fact there's fucking pop shot. He's drinking again.
Yeah. Huey, Dewey, Louie are done.
Yeah.
Fucking took those little assholes out.
You just lined them up, one shot.
I'm done asking question. Boom. Actually, I wonder if I have. Okay.
Did you guys know that Goofy is a cow and not a dog?
No.
Is he
I thought
really?
he was a dog. I know he was dating a cow.
It's because he's a cow.
He's dating.
I just found that out this week, and it fucking blew my mind.
Where
Pluto's a
did you hear
dog.
that- But where did you hear that Goofy was a cow, though? I always thought he was a dog, just like you just said. With like,
See, this
He
is
lives
the,
right
this
next
is
to
the internet.
Disneyland. I'm sure he heard
be
it at the window.
Yeah, Goofy's a cow. No, but like it's on the internet, so it might be some asshole just trolling.
No, those were all gunshots of people saying that that's
Goofy's a dog.
That Goofy's a cow.
Goofy's a cow.
you see a Goofy coming through the window. He's just taking them all out.
Yeah.
But the joke's on you
Anyways,
because he's shooting from his udders.
There's Pete doing his research.
Yeah.
He's for sure playing like a.
He's playing
Breaker game
Tetris right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tetris on his iPhone.
Yeah.
I think it's there.
So anyway, yes, back to The Banker on Apple
Yeah.
TV Plus. Yeah, good movie, well acted, lots of recognizable actors besides Samuel Jackson, and I think Nia Long. She's also in it if you're familiar with her.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'd recommend it. It's good. And then what else did I watch? Oh, another original show, Defending Jacob. I think did I talk about it last week? No, I didn't.
Not publicly.
Yeah, that's right. So Defending Jacob with Chris Evans and Michelle Dockery from Downton Abbey. So they basically they play parents. He's a defense attorney. He's an assistant DA actually. And there's a murder of a high school kid in the town. Their son is fingered as a suspect, as the prime suspect. So, which was originally his case until his son was seen as a suspect. So it's basically like how they're dealing with that as they're preparing for trial. It's like an 8-episode series. I think we're on episode, 7 comes out on Friday. So there's one more after that. But it's it kind of had like a flash forward, current time kind of thing. So something happens later. We just don't know what as they're going through these scenes. So, but yeah, it's again, it's a good show. It's I feel like the premise itself a little bit is I'm getting a little stale in terms of because you got like True Detective and you got all these other kind of like thriller crime shows. The Outsider.
Yeah.
There's something else I was relating it to. But it's like as good as that stuff is, and it's entertaining. It's like okay, I'm kind of getting over the whole kind of suspense.
Yeah, like we get it.
Yeah. So, but other than that, it's really good. My wife made a interesting. She picked up on something where, Michelle Dockery is from Downton Abbey. She speaks with an English accent. But in this, she's speaking with an American accent, and my wife was mentioning how she said like she was distracted by just like the tone of her voice speaking with them. Like I'm like I didn't really notice it, but until she mentioned that, it's like I understand what you're saying because you can tell that's like this accent or American accent isn't her natural.
Like it's speaking. A bit forced.
Yeah, I guess just like. Someone does a bad English accent or bad accent from like what I'm talking about. We just belt anything out.
Oh, of course.
There you go. So everyone is from India is so upset right now.
I mean, of course it didn't deter my enjoyment of the show, but I actually always felt like that with Peter Dinklage in Game of Thrones because he was like the only American really on the whole show. Like I think there was maybe like one or two more. But he was like the premier one, and he was obviously doing an accent. And it never, I don't know, it just didn't sound authentic to me ever. It didn't deter from his acting for me. Like he still did a great job, but it was always just like, I know what you mean, is what I'm saying. Like there's a little thing in the back of your mind where you're like.
Yeah, I let that slide with him though, because it was very like nondescript accent where like you could tell
sure
the
he
other
appreciates
actors were British. It was a British. No, I'm saying it wasn't like specifically British. It wasn't specifically, like a lot of the other actors who had those accents already. like it was an accent and some vocal intonations that were put on, but I didn't feel like he was trying to do like a specific accent. Like it was just,
It's not about the specificity of it. It's more just like I know in my mind that he's not
Right.
British and like he's doing British, and it wasn't as convincing as other people. Like you guys thought Tessa Thompson was British because she does a great accent.
We're not
No.
alone on that either.
I don't know why. She's American. Let's move past this before it starts going and snowballing again.
Yeah, I don't know why either. Or maybe I think might be because a lot of the when you first saw her on screen, she was doing an accent. I think maybe some of the first roles that people really took with her, she was doing an accent. Maybe, I don't know. I'm just assuming. But anyway, so yeah, the Defending Jacob, Apple TV Plus. And are you watching that too, Alex?
Defending Jacob?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I just saw a person.
Something.
Yep.
Hi, whoever was at Kevin's house.
That's my wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hi, Brienne.
Hello.
And then so yeah, it's a good show. Again, it's a good suspenseful kind of thing. If you haven't seen any of it, you might as well wait. Maybe 2 more weeks, and then you can just watch the entire series without having to.
Is it 10 episodes?
8 episodes, like I think hour long.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So so far it's been pretty good. So I'm
Nice.
expecting the conclusion of the season to be, good, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
Is it
And then,
pretty easy to see him as somebody other than Captain America at this point?
Yeah, he has a beard, so it was probably that helps. And then
Like taking the glasses off the nerdy girl, and she instantly becomes hot.
Yeah, that's right.
so
He's got a beard.
Yeah,
It's not Captain America.
Yeah.
you can tell he's
They
not
gave
as
him a
big,
beard
though.
in Endgame, so
Yeah.
ruin
Well,
that.
he's not as big,
Oh, sure.
Oh yeah.
So, but no, I think he's doing a good job doing with it's an interesting. He plays the father who's is an assistant DA, basically on leave because your son is pinned for murder.
Yeah, convicted of murder. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not convicted yet. He's just
Or,
accused
yeah.
of it.
He's
So still, I mean, just like, so it's interesting. They talk about it. They shine a light on how you become a social pariah. You're all of a sudden your friends stop coming by, or you have to adjust to this new way of life while you still are at home. So it's interesting also that this be happening during this quarantine period, because you can draw a lot of parallels between the isolation. So, but yeah, it's good. And then, but also to that point, I was just remembering, also watched the movie Downton Abbey on HBO, because they put that out on there. So me and the wife were fans of the show. So we didn't get a chance to see the movie in the theater, but if you like the show Downton Abbey, the movie's really good.
Does it close out the show? Like, is it kind of an ending?
It's just its own kind of story. It takes place obviously after the end of the show, and but the King and Queen of England are passing through on a tour, and they want to stay there.
Oh, that's right.
And so and it's interesting how they show like what a big deal it is for certain people, and they continue on with some storylines and kind of create a dilemma that is resolved, kind of stuff, in the movie. It's
like a really long episode kind of a thing.
In a sense, it's just like a really good episode. But everyone is back. I mean, everyone that was there is back, and I think they're talking about doing another one. And everyone was on board. Yeah. So, but if you like the show, there's no reason why you wouldn't like this. So, and it's also really cool having watched Defending Jacob with Michelle Dockery, and then seeing her back in this role that you're familiar with. How she just goes right back into it's just like didn't miss a day. It's like just a natural character for her. So it was cool seeing that.
Cool.
All right. Well, then I guess this leaves you, Alex.
Yeah, I guess it does.
You watched something.
I watched a couple things. I actually remembered I did watch something earlier this week. It's just not something new, but it sounds like we're all watching old shit. So par for the course, I guess. I was just kind of cruising through HBO, and I don't know why, but like I've been seeing a lot of stuff online these days about Brendan Fraser, like about how he kind of disappeared from the limelight, but everybody wants him back, and I guess there was some pretty crazy stuff that happened in his life to make him kind of back away from Hollywood. Like there was some sexual abuse and some other things like that. And so there's like a movement online, like bring Brendan Fraser back kind of a thing. So I was just scrolling through and I saw Bedazzled.
I was going to say, did you watch Bedazzled?
I did watch Bedazzled.
Oh, such a great movie.
I love that movie. And it's sort of similar to City Slickers. It totally holds up. Like it's so fun still. It's like Elizabeth Hurley and Brendan Fraser in their primes, just the start of that movie when he gets stuck holding that door and the way they utilize that, that's such a great time lapse movie. Of like a billion people going. It's just it's so good. I mean, it is a little, it feels a little like, oh, this is definitely an older movie, but it's still really, really good and fun and has some really nice moments in it. And something that I never appreciated when I watched it before, because I was younger and didn't care about this stuff as much, but sort of the different personas that he takes on in that movie. Like they're all really unique. And some of them are just like subtly different than him, and some of them are like really different than what he actually is. And it was just kind of cool to be like, he has good range. Like he's a good actor. Like it made me kind of sad that he has sort of disappeared.
And it's got Elizabeth Hurley in little clothes.
That is also a plus. Yeah, like I said, she is in her prime, and I meant that in a number of ways.
His when he's the redhead on the beach, that's my favorite.
He keeps looking at the sunset and
crying.
Just such a good movie. So that was fun. It was nice to watch something just kind of funny and uplifting, essentially. So there's that. And then the new thing that I watched 4 hours ago, because I needed to watch something for this episode. I've been meaning to watch this for forever, so I finally I got around to it. Watched the first 2 episodes of The Last Kingdom on Netflix. The Last Kingdom sounds something like King Arthur-y, but it's actually
it's Vikings, isn't it?
It's Vikings. Yeah, it takes place in a similar timeline to the show Vikings. It almost feels, in a way, like a sequel show. It's not. It has nothing to do with it, but it sort of the timelines that they're messing with, some of the major political figures and the regions of England that they're invading, etc. Like it all kind of feels like, oh, I watched Vikings, so I kind of know what's happening here. Like it's kind of cool. Only a couple episodes in, but so far I'm really enjoying it. I've been meaning to get to it for a long time. Sam and I were finally like, let's just fucking do it. Like, let's just start. And
so you gotta do sometimes. Just fucking do it.
Well, we wanted to finish Vikings first because we're technically not caught up on that. But we were just like, fuck it. Like, let's just watch this show. It doesn't matter. And so, I'm expecting production quality, etc., to rise in later seasons. In fact, I've seen promos and I know that it does. It feels a little season one-y, like some of the costumes are a little cheap looking, stuff like that. But the story is really great. The acting is really great. It's honestly funny as fuck. Like, it's so funny, like the Viking sense of humor and the things that they do and say to each other and some of the shit that happens. I was like, we were laughing out loud more than I expected to. I thought it was going to be like really bleak and horrible, and there is definitely some of that, but it was amusing. Like it's really quality. I'm going to keep watching it, and I'll keep you guys updated on if that changes, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So The Last Kingdom on Netflix.
Cool.
And then after our conversation last week, this isn't a show or a movie, but we had our One Has to Go conversation and talked about Lord of the Rings and how amazing it is. And so I went back and started over a video game called Shadow of War.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a game where you play a Ranger of Gondor. This is in the Lord of the Rings universe. You play a Ranger of Gondor who is murdered, but he kind of...
Short game.
Yeah. And it's over.
I paid $60 for this, but
basically
the cinematics were amazing.
The cinematics are so good. But he gets murdered and sort of gets possessed by the spirit of an ancient elf who's like in between the worlds of life and death. And so the elf has his I don't want to say too much about it in case any of you want to play it, because the elf actually is a prominent figure in Lord of the Rings lore. But he has an agenda, and then the ranger who you are has an agenda, and they sort of team up to infiltrate Mordor and right the wrongs that were done to both of them. So the game takes place like in Mordor. That's the first one. This one that I'm playing is the second one, so it's sort of a continuation of that story. You meet more key figures. Yeah, so Shadow of Mordor is the first one.
This is the first one.
I'm playing Shadow of War, which is the second one. It's just everything in the first game had, but bigger.
Yeah, I played both of them, yeah.
Yeah, really good games.
Brag much?
Yeah. Jeez, dude.
I know.
What? Both? Oh my god, it's so cool.
Oh my god, dude. Can I have your autograph?
Yes.
You gotta tell me everything. You gotta tell. I don't believe this.
But it's really cool. I mean, if you like Lord of the Rings, it's basically like rated R Lord of the Rings. Like you're just fucking orcs up, like chopping their heads and arms off and beating the shit out of people the whole time. It's got cool ties to the story. It's not canon at all because it fucks with so much of the lore that you're just like, who, what? Like that's not what happened. But it doesn't matter because it's fun and it's cool. And like you, especially in the second game, you go to like amazing locations in the Lord of the Rings lore. Like you go to Minas Ithil, which if you've seen I think it's in the second movie, Minas Morgul, which is like the city that the ring wraiths come out of. There's that big ass tower and it shoots the green light into the sky. It used to be Minas Ithil, which was like a regular human city, and then it got taken over by the wraiths and all the orcs and shit, and so now it's Minas Morgul. Cool. So you see it before that happens, which is really cool. But if you like Lord of the Rings and you want to play a cool video game, that's a really great. It's honestly the best choice. There's no better Lord of the Rings game that's been made, really. So
it's got that nemesis system too, right? Where
it's super. Like you'll meet orcs, like war chiefs and captains that are more than just like the regular fodder. They all have unique names, and you'll fight them, and you can kill them, or sometimes they'll escape, or something else. But even if you kill them, sometimes like if you kill them by only like stabbing them through the gut, sometimes they'll come back and they'll remember you, and then they'll have like a bandage on their stomach. And it's this whole behind the scenes system where what does that say? Let Sean Bean live in a movie. God damn it! I second that, sir.
Yeah. Amen.
But
that's your name?
Yeah, that's his name now.
Pete, you changed your name to that?
Yes, he did.
I've changed my name several times throughout this.
He has been, but that's the first one I noticed because it's just like extra.
Okay.
But yeah, that's a cool game, and that's pretty much what I've been doing. Playing that. Playing that. That's about it.
We're about half an hour away from finishing Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Nice.
So it'll be done in 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we should get it done tomorrow. Maybe
cool.
Tomorrow night.
Are you doing The Hobbit next? Did we talk about that? I know you said like you might do it next.
I don't know. I don't know because I want to watch Galaxy Quest again.
Okay.
Nice.
You can watch it with the kids.
A palate cleanser. It's definitely kid friendly.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts of Galaxy Quest is when you can see.
Oh, the fuck this.
The fuck this. Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's actually fuck that.
Fuck that. Yeah. You can fuck with this. You can fuck with that.
All right. So
before we move on, I do have the definitive answer on whether Goofy is a dog or a cow.
Oh, okay. So Pete's the authority. Go ahead.
Yes. So Snopes has debunked this actually, and it's Goofy is a dog. He was originally a dog named Dog. The information you're getting from is actually a humor article from Real Rundown. This is Goofy a dog? And they make it a joke that Goofy was an actor that they brought over from Egypt, and all this stuff, and that he's actually a cow. Yeah, if you Google is Goofy a dog or a cat, the Real Rundown article comes up first, and then the stuff that actually explains what it is. So he's a dog, but on the
I don't believe it.
He's an Egyptian cow, from what I just heard.
Why is Pluto a dog who's like a dog, but Goofy's a dog who's like a man? I don't believe it.
Maybe Pluto's
okay,
like
why
a
does Donald wear
dog.
a towel when he gets out of the shower, but he doesn't wear pants?
Because you want him to see
We're not
his
talking
dick.
about indecent exposure. We're talking about animalistic behavior, Peter.
Well, there are things that don't lend credence to that, because in Mickey Mouse's Clubhouse, the kids show, the kind of like love interest, if you will, for Goofy is Clarabelle.
What fucking show are you watching right now?
Hang on a second, guys.
Disney porn
I'm
over
gonna
here.
Google this myself,
Your
and we'll
kids
get the
don't watch
real
Mickey
answer.
Mouse's Clubhouse.
We do have to get to the bottom of this.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, hello.
That was intense.
You're right there, buddy.
That's the way I am. This is what happens.
Intense. I do it all. Hardcore.
So is this what we're waiting on now? We're waiting on the definitive answer of whether Goofy's a fucking dog
I
or a
guess
cow.
so. That's yeah.
Alex looks pretty intent.
Why doesn't Goofy have like cow nose like Clarabelle does?
Well, because he's a special kind of cow called an Aberdeen cow, according to the humor article.
So he has a black nose like a dog, like.
Uh-huh. He's got a son named Max, who's also a dog-looking animal.
Well, I would think. I mean,
I don't like Alex's face.
I just got bored trying to look it up because honestly, half the articles say he's a cow and half of them say he's a dog. It's like that's the internet.
The ones
that's the internet for you. You don't know. Like it doesn't matter who says it.
But what does Wikipedia say today?
I'm gonna dig up Walt Disney's grave and ask him myself, and then whatever answer he gives me.
He's a dog who identifies as a cow.
That makes sense.
That identifies as a cow.
The dog that identifies as a cow.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And
I saw that website. I don't want to look at it again.
And he has to believe that, wink, wink, so Clarabelle will accept him. So
right.
It's like he knows it all. Yeah, sure, all right.
Way more forward thinking than we gave him credit for.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
He's just trying to get in there.
Yeah. Wikipedia says he's a dog.
Well,
Wikipedia is always right.
Look here, guys. I'm just sharing what the internet told me. Who here lives next to Disneyland, okay? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
True.
Yeah.
I got the inside scoop. Let's move away from this topic.
Yeah. Listeners, if you have any inside information on the Goofy is a cow or a dog controversy, please email the show or
just text them.
Text Pete. Somebody put Pete's number up here.
Put it as your name.
Text Pete directly.
Put it as your name, Pete.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll do it as mine if you don't do it as yours. Let me get your number real quick.
Yeah.
I'll hit you up real quick.
Don't we have a phone number for the show? That should be up there.
That way David can have your number. Oh, he already has it. Never mind. Doesn't matter.
All right. Well, we don't really have anything else planned.
Extraction.
That's right. Extraction.
Jesus Christ.
All right. Well, fuck. Let's talk
we
about
want to just dive in?
Yeah, let's just dive in. Oh, actually, how long have we been going so far?
A little over 50 minutes.
No. About a half an hour.
Oh, no, you're right. No, I'm sorry. It's just a little over 30.
It's a 3, not a 5.
It's just a little over 30.
Gosh, darn it.
I started a stopwatch different. It's just a little over.
He started a stopwatch differently. It's running in reverse. He's on metric time.
No, it just started late.
What
and I
he's
was
staring
doing the math.
at are like 5 different stopwatches started at all different times for no fucking reason.
So Extraction.
Yeah.
That was a movie that happened on Netflix.
It is.
It is. Who saw it?
I remember. This is audio, guys.
Is it though?
Well, and the video that
counts. Well, partly. Only to the people listening to the podcast.
What fucking
he won't know.
Yeah, he won't know.
So Extraction, Netflix original feature starring one Chris Hemsworth, who really, he needs the work.
Right.
Those Marvel checks, they don't cut it. He's got like 9 kids.
Yeah.
He does have 9 kids.
So who wants to give a synopsis on this?
I thought it was good.
You didn't watch it. Shut the fuck up.
Well, the trailer was good.
You saw the movie if you saw the trailer, by the way. So
That's actually pretty true.
Yeah, I mean it was good. I mean that's about the highest praise I could give it. It was entertaining. The action was really solid. The direction of the movie I think was like the strongest piece of it. Like just the way that they did transitions and color theory and other things like that. Really cool stuff. Chris Hemsworth was fine. And that's the end.
What I really appreciated
Netflix.
What?
If it was like released in a theater versus on Netflix, do you think it would have done well?
I wouldn't have watched it in the theater.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone to the theater for it.
No,
Yeah, I mean,
it would have been the one I saw the trailer and go, I'll wait for Netflix.
Yeah, because it's a very typical in that way action
Super
movie.
typical.
Like if it was like Man on Fire with
It
Thor.
was. I was gonna say
Okay.
it was Man on Fire. Yeah, that's the movie.
What I
Very paint
appreciated-
by numbers.
What I appreciated though is that his character did not waste one bullet. Every shot he took hit its target.
Pretty
I'm like,
much.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He's very
Just
John Wick in that way.
Yeah. So it was I thought it was pretty good for what it was. It was a good action flick. You know.
Do we want to go into any spoilers or do we not really care enough?
I mean, if we're gonna
Well,
make this review last,
Yeah, because otherwise it's over, I guess, right?
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah, it's good.
I mean,
I don't know if you
what's
care,
there really
Pete.
to say about it?
Yeah, no, go for it. I'll
I like the end.
eventually wind up watching it, but
I think that the end it added a little bit of cleverness to the movie that it wouldn't have had otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Both with what happens to Chris Hemsworth, his character on the bridge, like what happens there, and then after that, obviously, I don't know how much we want to say,
Like
but
the final shot.
Yeah, the final shot, and then what happens to him on the bridge. I was just like, oh, I didn't see that coming. Like it was,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was kind of cool.
Well, who played the drug lord, the one that was going after him at the end? Not the father who was in jail, but the other guy. He looked familiar.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I didn't recognize any of the actors besides Hemsworth and Hellboy.
David Harbour. Yeah.
David Harbour. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a good job in his role.
Although the CIA, I don't know what organization they're with. I don't want to say CIA, but the woman, she looked familiar too.
She's been in a couple of things. I looked her up.
Yeah. I understand why.
Yeah. But go ahead, look her up and then try and say her name. She's got a lot of consonants in her name.
It's like
yeah. But she is very pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
it's
yeah,
cool.
she's been in like one or two other things, and she looks actually pretty different in them. Which was interesting because her look in this was kind of subtle. Like they didn't glam her up until that last shot she was in.
Of course, that was a cool shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It was such a okay action movie. Like that. I'm not upset that I saw it. But I'll never watch it again.
Yeah, that's true. And the timing of it's good. I mean, we don't have anything new coming out, so it coming out now on Netflix when you can't go to the theater makes it like the biggest action movie of the summer, basically.
I feel like this was because it was written by the Russos. I feel like this was them going like, everyone really likes Winter Soldier, and let's do that, but make it way more violent. And we can't use Chris Evans again, so we might as well use Chris Hemsworth instead. Yeah. That's kind of what it felt like to me. It was almost just like a passion project of theirs, just to make something ultra violent and actiony, and you don't have to use your brain like at all. Like it's you're just it's just happening in front of you. Because Winter Soldier is arguably one of their best films, if not their best, but like. It had a very Winter Soldier-y vibe, I think, and a lot of the action and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Cool.
2 thumbs up.
I'd say if you got Netflix, give it a look-see.
Yeah. Take a peep.
You've already watched everything else.
Yeah, you've hit the end of Netflix at this point, so.
Yeah, right. You get it. You got the achievement for finishing Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every title is in your watch it again section.
There's no other cues.
Yeah, just watch.
Yeah. You platinum Netflix.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you're starting to get the DVDs again.
Oh God. I think I'm still subscribed to that service. I mean, we haven't ordered one in like a year. But I think we have it technically.
You're still paying for the
and we probably have one in one of the boxes that we moved with somewhere, like in some fucking paper sleeve. I couldn't even tell you what movie it is. Probably should find that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, someone's waiting for that title every day. Checks the internet. Fuck.
Where the fuck is Alien versus Predator?
They only would have one copy of that too.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we haven't gotten it in yet. Every day, is it in? Nope. Fuck.
Don't know where it is.
Don't know. You have no records of where it was sent either.
Right. Well, they're looking at my old address. That's how I got them.
They keep coming up, knocking on the door, sir.
Yeah,
sir.
They don't live here anymore.
Yeah.
Speaking of aliens, all of those movies are on HBO right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw
they?
that.
Yeah. So if you want to go have a trip down nostalgia lane, or at least 2 of the 4 nostalgia lanes, then you can do that.
They're all in my iTunes library too, though.
Yeah, I mean, I own them. It's just kind of it's easy sometimes to just be like, click.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's take a break.
We may not have anything when we come back, but we'll take a break.
No, we have a game.
Oh, we have something when we come back.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we have a game.
We don't have anything.
Who's gonna do the
No.
closing bumper? We actually need something to read too. So Pete, you might as well type something up on the notepad so we know what we're gonna read for the bumper.
Yeah.
That you have all the information.
Make it good, dude.
Well,
Also, would you,
It's just basic
Pete,
notes.
Pete, do me a favor and read your little name thing out loud for the crowd.
It's Hemsworth is sexier than Cavill.
Ooh,
That's a tough one.
that is a tough one.
Yeah, I don't.
They both have their things. I feel like if Henry Cavill stood in front of Chris Hemsworth, you wouldn't be able to see him because he's so fucking big.
Yeah, that's true.
But that's tough, man.
I feel like Hemsworth would be cooler to hang out with. Just
yeah.
I feel like
Definitely.
But
Cavill would be way better to bone.
yeah, if you gotta fuck one of them.
I think you're catching in both cases, man. I don't think you're pitching.
That's fair.
So,
That's fair.
Yeah.
Even if you wanted to, they'd be like, nope.
yeah.
Even if you wanted to, but I'm your biggest fan.
Please.
Yeah, DC's fucking you, man. I'm on your side.
Oh boy.
All right,
Do we
yeah.
wanna
Would
talk
you rather
about
get
that
fucked by
before we go to break?
whether you get fucked
Oh,
by
yeah.
Thor or Superman?
Yeah, whether I get fucked by Thor or Superman.
That's-
Which one would hurt less?
Which one might actually? Well, fuck. Most of them would probably be close to dying.
They'd
either
explode your body with their might.
One's a god, but one has literally cracked planets in half. So.
Yeah, and who's to say that Superman's semen is not just going to shoot straight through the top of your head?
Yeah, it's like getting hit with a
Load
bullet.
like a shotgun.
And you might get electrocuted
Yeah.
by Thor, so who knows,
Yeah.
right? Like,
I mean,
That would suck.
Lois Lane made it, so she survived.
so
that
did
one.
Jane Foster,
Oh, that's true.
and she's smaller than Lois Lane.
That
He's
is
tiny.
true.
And also,
Is
he
the
wasn't
Thing's
Superman
dick made
when
of
that
orange
happened.
rock?
What do you mean?
He had gotten rid of his powers at that point.
Oh, that's in the movies. In the comic books, they boned many times. They even have a kid.
Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah.
Okay, well
Yeah,
then,
enough about super jizz.
Now that we've rehashed.
now that we've established,
Yeah.
the script for Mallrats.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't remember that whole conversation when Jason Lee finally meets Stan Lee in the mall in Mallrats, and he's walking around, and that's what they talk about, and he asks if the Thing's dick is made out of orange rock,
yeah,
can Reed Richards stretch everything? Does Superman blow a load like a shotgun? How does
reminds me
Lois
of
survive that?
the Star Wars versus Lord of the Rings conversation in was it Clerks 2? Is that or what was that?
Yes, yeah.
That was
Clerks
pretty-
2.
Yeah, there's that movie. So, anyways,
Yeah.
back to DC.
Oh yeah,
These-
you guys.
The Snyder Cut
The
The Snyder Cut.
is real, and it's happening in a year.
Yeah, it's 2021. It's going to be on HBO Max,
Yeah.
and supposedly it's way better
Well,
and
there-
totally different.
How can it be way better, totally different, and it's not gonna be ready for a year?
Well, so a lot of the shots that they were working on weren't finished.
Yeah,
A lot of the CG wasn't done, et cetera, et cetera. They've actually, I was reading an article, they got back every one of the crew members who they would need at this point. They obviously don't need like a director of photography or anything anymore, but like anyone that they would need, because they're not filming anything new as far as I know. But they're all coming back. They're going to finish and also update everything to look
better,
really nice and better. Yeah.
Hopefully they get the guy that did Aquaman. For the CGI.
Oh yeah, or Black Panther. That's some badass CG right there.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah,
get the Shazam guy. Get the guy from Shazam.
Hey, well, Shazam was fine.
It was better than Aquaman.
It was better than Aquaman.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Way to raise that bar.
Yeah, right.
I know, right?
I don't know, man. I'm excited because Justice League wasn't good, but it could have maybe almost been. So I'm like,
I'm gonna watch it solely because of the fact that I'm already gonna have HBO Max anyways. So why do I care that I'm not gonna go out and pay for it?
So for clarification, if you have HBO, do you have HBO Max or is that something different?
No. You just have HBO like a fucking loser.
I'm a fucking peasant, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Dude, you need to give them more money.
Yeah.
I will just wait for it to come.
But if you if you have HBO Go or HBO Now, it's the same price as HBO Max. So you just cancel and switch over to HBO Max.
Yeah.
But if you get HBO through cable, then you're screwed. Then you have garbage.
Yeah, no, I have a Go or Now or
well, I can tell you right now, a new version of Justice League is not a carrot that is gonna.
What about the Friends special?
The Friends special. That's right.
You're gonna have the Friends special.
Is that Friends the mistake?
The one where they made a mistake.
Yeah, the one where they made a mistake. They should not be doing this.
Everyone's doing it, man. Even Jerry Seinfeld has a new stand-up right now. They're all coming back and trying to relive the glory days.
Well, he's not the new stand-up. He's not doing a last episode of Seinfeld.
But you know what I mean. He doesn't.
Well, they're still in jail.
They
yeah, it's just them sitting there in jail.
With the Friends one, it's like I feel like one has been too long, and two, I remember the last season of Friends, how it was falling off a cliff.
Just puttered out, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, why do you want to bring this? Like, I understand why people are going to watch it, but it's like I hate when shows do this when it's so long later.
Yeah, I'd almost much rather see a show where it's just them talking about the show itself rather than.
I thought that's what it was supposed to be.
I think that is what it is. Yeah.
No, it's going to be like a reunion thing. It's not going to be like another episode or.
See, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, no. They're just going to come and talk about it because they've never even done that where the entire cast since the show ended has come back together and then they
on the last episode they all just walk away from each other.
Yeah, they all look at each other. They're just like.
Well, it's also sad. I mean, when it's been this long. I mean, Matthew Perry looks like melted ice cream, and then fucking Courtney Cox. You could tell she's had some work.
It looks like ice cream that melted, but then got put back in the freezer.
Yeah, exactly. It melted on the way home.
Yeah,
it's basically the same shape, but it's just not quite right.
Yeah,
but it's just solid again. It's not goopy.
So I mean,
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I just don't care enough. I mean,
everyone's gonna watch that, dude.
Yeah, it will be huge. Yeah.
Well, what's that going to be on HBO Max?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to be watching it.
Yeah.
Well.
Nope.
You're going to be too busy paying for the Peacock streaming service because that one's coming out too.
The what?
Peacock, the NBC streaming service.
Yeah, that's right. All these.
Are they really calling it that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they
How
are.
else are they going to attract viewers?
That's just a horrible name in general.
Oh, it is though.
Peacock, but whatever.
It's a bird, dude.
All right, let's take a quick break so we can listen to our advertising, I guess, after the editing.
Mm-hmm.
So you might be listening to Alex.
Alex.
Most likely.
This guy right here. Right down there.
Kevin. Or me.
Could be you. Probably not, though.
It could be me. I don't know. It could be. That's likely to be Alex. We will